Okay, in this example, we're going to do the same thing that we did in the previous video. But in this example, I am going to use the cross multiplying method. I just want to show you that the answer should still come out to be the same. So what we have is we need to write down what we need. So we need the sales price. We also need the tax amount. And then we're going to need to know the total price. All right, so in this example, again, Carrie wants to buy sports equipment that costs $140. The sales tax in her city is 5.75%. What is the total cost of the equipment? So for this example, we're going to use the cross multiplying method. Okay, so we're going to still consider this to be method. This will be method 2. Okay. And so method 2, we're going to use the cross multiplying method. So I'm going to put cross multiply. And so let's see what we get. All right, so we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to have our part to our whole. That's what we're comparing. And then one side has to have our number. The other side needs to have our percentages. And so I'm going to have X here to represent our tax amount. We're going to have 140 listed here. In fact, let me start over. Let me do it the way I would have done it. All right, let's back up. So I like to do it in an order. So I like to start here. This would be 1. This is my second step, third step, and fourth step. If we're doing it this way here. So let me see. And that's just based off of what they gave us in this example. So we know that the sports equipment is $140. That is the whole amount. So that's why I'm starting here. The sales tax in her city is 5.75. So I'm just going to put the quantity, 5.75. And we know that a whole, when we talk about percentages, is 100. Okay. And then this is going to be X here. Now, under the cross multiplying method, what I'm going to do is multiply my diagonals. So on one side, and it doesn't matter which side you put it on one side, you have X and 100. Okay. So that means you're multiplying 100 X's or X times 100, but you want to get into the habit of making sure that your coefficient is listed first. Okay. So it's X times 100. Okay, if I'm just showing exactly what's here, and that is going to be equal to the opposite side, which is going to be 140 times 5.75. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite this so that it's in the order with the coefficient being listed first. So it's going to be 100x is equal to 140 times 5.75. So let's see what we get with that. So I'll clear out my calculator. 140 times 5.75 gives me 805. Okay. And then remember that anytime that we're looking at X and trying to solve for X, the goal is always to get the variable isolated, meaning that it's by itself on one side of the equation or inequality. In this case, we have 100 and we have the X, and hopefully by now you understand that that is multiplying. And so to undo or get rid of the multiplied number, we need to divide. And so we're going to divide both sides by 100. All right. And then there's 2 ways that you can figure this out. So we know 100 divided by 100 leaves you with an X, okay, or 1, in other words, 1 times X. And we know if we have exactly 1, there's no need for us to write that number 1 in front of it. So we leave it as X. And then over here we have 805 divided by 100. So you can plug that into your calculator or use what you know about base 10 and moving our decimal. So I see 2 zeros, right? So I know that 805, my decimal is currently at the back, okay, or to the far right. Remember, every number has a decimal, even if we can't see it. And with it having 2 zeros, and I know that I'm dividing, I need to make this number smaller. So I'm going to move it 2 places to represent those 2 zeros, okay? So this is going to be 8.05. But again, if you don't believe me, plug it into your calculator. So 805 divided by 100 gives you $8.05. Remember, this is our tax amount. Okay. So to find out how much you need to pay in all, you need to go back and what did it say? $140. Oh, we didn't even write our information here, which I wouldn't have had to go back if I did that. So the sales price was 140. The tax was 5.75. And then your total price, the total price is going to be adding these two up, right? So we have 140 plus $8.05. That was the dollar amount for the tax. So $8.05. That means that we are paying $148.05 for us to buy the sports equipment. The next video, I'll show you the fish method, and then you should be good in regards to ratio reasoning. It's the same thing we've been learning all year, using those three methods, and eventually we'll get into a faster way for us to calculate it.